good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody doing?
What's going on, Titan Nation? Welcome to a emergency impromptu edition of TNT tonight. I was gonna quickly talk about the post game, how the season ended, and talk about the Tennessee Titans securing the #1 pick in the draft. But before we can even get to that, breaking news happening earlier today, as you see on the thumbnail on your screen, Carthon fired as general manager of the Tennessee Titans. Fired after going 9-25 in his 2 seasons as general manager of the Tennessee Titans. Again, Happy New Year to all of you. Welcome into the show. I am your host, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. Definitely make sure y'all follow on Facebook, Instagram, and on X. Definitely make sure y'all follow that out and share this show out too while you edit. Definitely make sure y'all hit that like button. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Whether you're watching on YouTube or on LinkedIn, definitely make sure y'all smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Go ahead and hit that. Likes and the subscribe will definitely help the algorithm, help people get more onto the channel. That way, you'll be able to get the very best Titans content in the world. You won't get that anywhere else except TNT, Titans and Truth. Definitely making sure we do that. But again, y'all, welcome into the show. And, first I'm going to quickly talk about the fact that the Tennessee Titans did complete the tank on Sunday, losing to the Houston Texans and securing the #1 pick in the NFL draft. When I tell you I was ecstatic when that happened. I wanted the Titans to lose because I figured it was the best thing for this franchise that the Tennessee Titans lose this game, and they did exactly that. They end the year losing 6 in a row. Not exactly fun, but at the end of the day, the Tennessee Titans had to do what was best. However, that all got foreshadowed by this news. Wake up this morning to find out the Tennessee Titans have fired my frat brother, Carthon, as general manager of the Tennessee Titans. And my guy, Brandon B. Payne, woke me up to the news. It was like, I'm mad. Had to drink some water. It's really good, by the way. It's a lot to unpack. Louis said, no, I won't go. Rand, come back. You still cooking. I got my man Travis on the line. What's up with you? Welcome into the show. This Playoff Fever. Of course, we have our resident troll, Kent Woods, who at one point loved the team so much, now he hates the team with a passion. And I understand that. Now, I understand that there's a lot of fans not happy today about this move. And I'm not surprised this move was made. I would have advised against it, in my honest opinion. I would not have fired him yet. I would have given him another season, him and Brian Callahan, because I was under the firm belief that either you fire both and you start over because you're going to get a new quarterback. You might as well get a new general manager, head coach, and quarterback, or you keep everybody together. And so, in firing Rand signals that obviously they felt that Rand was not the best decision maker for this football team going forward. But then, you get more of the news coming out, basically saying now Chad Brinker, who was hired by Rand to his assistant general manager, who then got promoted over Rand as president of football operations, is now going to be running the search for the new general manager. And it made me feel as if Chad Brinker might be a little snake in the grass. He might be that evil troll. Like, he put all of this in motion. Rand hires him, and then Chad bites the hand that feeds him. He basically like, well, Rand doesn't deserve the power. I want the power. So he basically snitched to Amy Adams Strunk. And I'm paraphrasing all this. I don't know what really happened. But Chad Brinker basically kissed his ass his way to power. And now he's going to be making that decision, basically making him the de facto general manager, which could make this job a little less attractive. Now, a lot of people are blaming Amy, which is valid. Pete Tamale says Amy needs to go, but she owns the team. She owns the team. So she can do whatever she wants. But Chad Brinker basically kissed his ass up the ladder of power. And now he wants to basically, and I saw this in a tweet somebody put out, which I can kind of see, is that Brinker wants the power of the general manager, but not the title, because if things go wrong, everybody's going to look at him. And they may still do that. Louis says, Chad might turn things around. I'll believe it when I see it. Deconstructed this team brick by brick. Jake 24 Titan with that in a little over 3 years. It is crazy. This franchise is a joke. Right now, it is. Is Chad Brinker even qualified to assume GM responsibility? I would probably say no, but we're about to find out. And I'm with CJ2K Post on this. Yes, something needed to happen, but again, was this the right move? Still remains to be seen. And so now it's on Chad Brinker. And the question is, whoever the general manager is, are they really going to be the general manager? Because it sounds like, according to Amy in her statement, whoever the general manager is going to answer to Chad Brinker, and then Chad Brinker is going to answer to Amy Adams Strunk. And Ms. Mims, who, of course, now has decided to join the pride of the Lions and is probably very happy. And again, Amy was a good owner for a while, but now she's one of the worst owners. I mean, Amy is trying to be the female version of Jerry Jones, and that might not be a good idea. Damon says, this is the dumbest decision since A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown, that was a dumb decision. They're like, can we fire her too? You know, unfortunately, we can't because she owns the team. I mean, I would like to win. I would like to win a couple $1 billion, maybe win 1.2 billion dollars, and I could take $600 million and go buy a share of the Titans and take over myself. Now I heard CJ2K, somebody called into to Stillman and Company saying Dion should be GM. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, I don't know. But again, today is a little confusing of a day. Rand Carthon out as general manager of the Tennessee Titans. I'm trying to see any other news come out, but this organization is in a free fall. This organization has no leadership, no direction. We have no idea which way they want to go or how they're going to go. Now, Chad Brinker comes out and says, we need a guy who has been a scout, knows how to evaluate talent, basically all ball all day. And Ms. Mims, I still do appreciate the support. And I know a lot of y'all want Miss Amy to sell the team. It's her team. She can do with it what she pleases. I mean, again, I don't know what Chad Brinker's credentials are, except that he came from Green Bay and I believe was assistant GM in Green Bay. Which is why I think I want to say the vice president of personnel in Green Bay could be one of the candidates that Brinker looks at. But he's got to bring in somebody that's going to be able to evaluate talent. And that can get guys that can fit what Brian Callahan wants to do. Yeah, excuse me for that. But that tells you I'm tired of BS too. But it's like I've always said. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And clearly, Amy Adams Strunk has not learned from the mistakes of the past. Let's go let's do the history. Stillman has his right tackle story. I have my GM head coach story. And first is this. Ken Winston Hunt gets fired after going 3-23 in a year and a half. Mike Mularkey is the interim head coach. Does well, gets the full-time gig at least for a year. And Miss Amy was in love with Mike Mularkey. So then she tells any new general manager, you got to be able to work with Mularkey. And that's where it lands with John Robinson. Excuse me. So John Robinson comes in. A year later, Mike Mularkey feels he doesn't have support and he gets fired. Then John Robinson wins that battle, gets to choose his guy in Mike Vrabel. Then some years later, comes to find out there's some issues between Robinson and Vrabel. Robinson gets fired. Vrabel wins the war. And then they bring in Rand Carthon and try to force this shotgun marriage. And then Vrabel gets fired. You bring in a new coach. And now not Callahan, Carthon gets fired. So it's been an endless carousel. You hire a GM, fire a coach. Then you have the coach, then you fire the GM. Then the GM picks a coach, GM gets fired. So it just really seemed like Amy Adams Strunk doesn't really know what she's doing, to the point where I'm thinking maybe you should have somebody do the day-to-day operations for you and you just be an owner. That's what I would do. Make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And so I thought it was a little bit premature, but I understand why there's some people that's very happy about this move and some that are very ticked off by it. Now, Rand did hire Will Levis, did draft Will Levis. And that's the thing I'm worried about too. If Callahan struggles out of the gate next season, yeah, he gonna get fired. But they say they see long-term promise with Brian Callahan. And so, you know, it's going to be a long off season. It's going to be a very interesting off season because, you know, now a lot of things have changed. And for example, Dion came out with a tweet talking about wow after Rand got fired, which basically tell you he may not want Shedeur Sanders coming to this dysfunctional franchise. And Steve says, interested all season what Titan fans say every year. I mean, it's going to be more interesting now than last year, even. Because now you got to look for a new GM. Who's going to come in? How's the structure going to be? Is it going to work? That I cannot say, and I don't know. I'm just as confused as a lot of you are. But DeAndre does bring up a good point. Quarterbacks can get you hired and fired. He is not lying about that. And Dr. Stone, I can see that happening. Unless you get the right people in there who can talk to Dion and Shedeur and convince them that we're the right decision. I could definitely see that happening. So Rand Carthon fired as GM of the Tennessee Titans. Make sure y'all continue to give me your thoughts in the comments section. My guy Brandon was not very happy about this earlier, and I get it. And I'm not happy about it either because I think in the end it's going to be a mistake. And we will have nobody to blame but ourselves. So I'm not really a fan of this move. I think this is going to be a bad move in the long run. It's going to hurt us in the long run. But we're going to find out. We're going to all find out together. And so hopefully within the next few days, we're going to find out who is going to be interviewing for this job, who who is going to who is going to be able to come in here and fix this football team. But it's going to be crazy. I think they didn't give him enough time. I agree. And Louis says, I don't think anybody's interviewing for this job. Somebody's going to have to interview for the job. Unless you're just going to say Chad Brinker is your general manager as well, which I mean, I could definitely see that be the case. So, I honest to God don't know. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen next. But, also, of course, some other personnel changes happen, including assistant general manager Anthony Robinson was also let go. And then Jackie, come on, man. Y'all got to stop all of this. This is stuff that pisses me off. Quit talking about, oh, we should never let go of Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was an asshole. And we all know that. 6-18 in your last 2 years under his watch. Enough said. Don't give me that bunch of bullshit. My God, that will piss me off. Y'all got to think. Y'all are better than that. Don't be talking about, well, we should have never let Vrabel go. Vrabel shouldn't have been a loser the last 2 years. And I don't know. Because it's going to be interesting now. Chad has all the power. He's going to be the tiebreaker in decision making. So basically, it'll be his choice. And I'm like, this is not a way to run an organization. If you're going to have somebody be the general manager of the team, let them be the general manager of the team. Let them call the shots. Not be like, well, I think we should do this. Chad, can we do this? We're going to have to trade down in this draft. We have too many holes in the roster. Only problem is you have an issue at the most important position of all as well. Who in their right mind would want this job? I mean, I got to agree with that. Blast says, I say we trade down and get a dominant edge rusher like Abdul Carter. I mean, We need so much more. Over Chicken says, rumor word is team is considering removing Callahan play calling duties and making him hire a new OC to call plays. I've heard that rumor too. I think right now you do need a OC that has called plays before, and then Callahan can swallow his pride and let the OC call the plays. And for all of y'all again that wants Miss Amy to sell the team, she's not going to do it. See, I need to stop that. This is her team. Now, that doesn't mean it's a good thing. I have heard that Mike Vrabel will interview in New England, which, I mean, that would be interesting in and of its own. Yeah, Miss Amy and Chad are going to have to give up the keys. Right. Chad is basically the GM, but he won't be named GM. No one's going to want our GM job if they're not running the team. And I agree with that. That's going to make it very hard. So, I mean, I don't know what the Tennessee Titans are going to do because Blast TV said, well, why not wait until Manning next year? First of all, you don't know if Archie Manning's going to even come out next year. We don't know if he's really, truly going to be any good. And who says you're going to even be in this position again? You might well take advantage of it while you're in this position. So the Tennessee Titans are going to have to find a way to figure this out and get it right. I'm trying to see if there's any other news that maybe has come out since. But again, and Rand's going to get paid for 4 more years unless he gets one. And the Titans are getting laughed about it. So I'm trying to see if there's any other news. Titans size put out a couple of candidates that the Titans could look at. And one was a former Falcons GM, Thomas Dimitroff, which I thought was a little bit past his prime. But, I mean, he is a former general manager, very experienced. Maybe that's something that the Titans should look at. So, Blasty says, even if we draft a quarterback, we get killed behind this line. They're going to have to build a line. They will have to rebuild the right side of this offensive line for it to be any good. That's going to be key. But I'm saddened by the news today. Not very happy about it. But let me know in the comments what y'all think of this. I would probably look at Ian Cunningham, assistant general manager in Chicago. I thought he might have been a guy that we could have went with. It's just going to be tough. And now, you have a lot of questions there. Who's going to be the general manager? Are we still in play for Shador? I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Tennessee Titans go moving forward. Again, breaking news, Rand Carthon was fired earlier this morning. Again, I'm not very happy about it, but we'll definitely talk more about this on the year-end episode of Titans in Truth. And so we're definitely going to check that out. And I hope everybody has a very good rest of your day. But again, work is going to have to be done now because Brian Callahan still stays on as coach, at least for now. But Rand Carthon out as general manager, and now we have to find a new general manager for this organization. Again, everybody make sure you hit the like button. Definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. And I thank everybody for tuning in to TNT tonight. I am your host, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. I hope they get this pick right. And I hope everybody has a very good rest of your Tuesday. And I'll see you when I see you. Tighten up. Because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.